6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're almost there. Go. And good evening, and welcome to another edition of Talkin' Wrestling. I'm Ralph Williams. My co-host is on the phone, Smokin Jim Frazier. Smokin Jim, welcome back to the show. This week, I know we're on the right way this time because we're in the master studio here at 808 Studios.
Thanks, Ralph. It was still fun last week, brother.
Oh yeah, it was. It's always fun when we're on the air together. It seems that way, especially when we're wrestling and sports and everything else that we do, and whatnot. So, all right, let's get started with last night's Raw results. I thought that Raw was pretty interesting last night. We saw a few different matches. We saw the debut of Candice LeRae. She's up from NXT, and she went up against Nikki ASH. But the interesting part about this was she beat her, and Nikki took her mask off. So what's your thoughts? You think maybe Nikki's going in another direction, or what do you think?
Yeah, they keep reinventing Nikki. You don't know she what superhero she is anymore. But yeah, I agree with you. It's hard to figure out sometimes.
Oh yeah, Matt Riddle took on Damian Priest. You knew where that was going. Judgment Day was going to get involved, in which they did. But Matt Riddle, he has a match against Seth Rollins coming up. I have the change of card for the Extreme Rules, just some matches that have been added and some stipulations to certain matches. We're going to talk about that as we go here in the show, Smokin Jim. But Bianca Belair beat Io Sky last night. That was an interesting match, despite the fact that the Damage Control was out there. Of course, Bayley has to stick her nose in it. What's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I tell you what, they got it cracking right at the beginning of the show. Bayley came out in all white, looked pretty good, and she's in really good shape. And he said, you knew what direction that one was going to go, man. Bayley got a good character.
Oh man, did you see the Miz segment where he had all this security paid for, and he told them, and that Dexter, yeah, Dexter Loomis got him again. I said, oh my gosh. I said, there we go. He was dressed up in that Islanders suit, and I said, oh my gosh, here we go. Jeez, or that Edmonton Oilers. I'm sorry, they were up in Edmonton. Yeah. They're up in Canada this week, so it's going to be interesting. Kevin Owens and Johnny Gargano took on the Alpha Academy. Owens and Gargano won that match. Gargano's going up against Austin Theory in the Extreme Rules. What's your thoughts on that match, and what do you think they have in store for Kevin Owens?
Well, I tell you what, I hope that Johnny and Austin Theory gets back together. I used to like how they teamed up on NXT. They had a good little posse going. The storyline was great. The women was beautiful, and so I hope somewhere down the line, after they get this whatever they got, out of their blood, they can team back up. But I think that the plan for 2022 and 2023 is to get Kevin Owens, moving up the ladder, man. He's popular. He can handle the mic. He's tough. So I think if he remains healthy, man, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets one of the belts or be in line for a title shot.
Oh, yeah. I like Kevin Owens. I've always liked him. He's a good wrestler. He never backs down from a fight as usual. And I like when he does the stunner, which I believe Stone Cold taught him, even though he went up against Stone Cold at WrestleMania. But still, it was, so.
Stone Cold's actually my all-time favorite wrestler.
I love him to death.
Him and Jimmy Superfly Snuka. But,
yeah, Snuka was a good wrestler.
Stone Cold was my favorite, man.
Yeah, I liked Stone Cold. I liked him and the Vince McMahon feud. You have to check out the documentary called Austin versus McMahon, and there's 2 parts to it. You got to check out both parts. I tell you what, that was so funny. Oh, when he was in the hospital with that broken leg, when the Brothers of Destruction beat him up real bad because he screwed him over the title, and then they beat him up, and then Stone Cold was in there, and the nurse goes, and then he goes, "Oh, I got this here." Nurse turn around, it was Stone Cold dressed in scrubs, and he starts beating up on McMahon, hits him with a bedpan. Oh, it was so funny. Oh my gosh. Uh, then he took the enema tube from the enema thing and stuffed it right up his butt. I was like, oh my gosh. I said, geez, that was crazy. Uh, this Rey Mysterio, he took on Seth Rollins, and you kind of knew things were going to break down. Rollins is, a malicious guy, but he's a good wrestler. I think he's probably one of the better wrestlers now on the roster, and he's been a two-time Grand Slam champion and whatnot. And I think that this match with Ray, I think Ray needs to take a break. I know he's trying to get his son back, and I know they have this storyline and this angle with the Judgment Day. And I sort of agree with Mark Mancini. This Judgment Day is a little out of control. None of them have any good mic skills as well. And also, too, I don't know if they're going to have any more additions, subtractions. Is there going to be a breakup? I don't know what's going to happen. They keep trying to recruit AJ Styles. Styles turned them down. And and they keep on trying to go after all these guys. What do you think is going to happen with the Judgment Day?
Just get back with Rey Mysterio. That match that he had, man, that was a violent match, man. It went on forever, man. I thought one of them guys was going to get hurt, man. I mean, it was a very violent match, and it's amazing how at Ray's age he can still do everything that he can. But I think Judgment Day, I just think it's going to continue to grow. I think they'll find somebody. I think they need. I agree with you and Mark Mancini that they can't. Nobody really can handle the mic. But if you get a spokesperson, that can do that, I think that it can continue to grow. MVP was able to do that. With the group that he had, and Heyman's able to do that now, and I think the Judgment Day, needs a spokesperson.
Well, they had Edge. They decided they didn't want him in the group anymore. They got tired. They claim, and this is for real, they got tired of him being a dictator. They didn't like it, so they kicked him out. And but now Edge is coming back. There's going to be a match set up for Extreme Rules, Edge versus Finn Balor, and an I Quit match. So it just makes the Extreme Rules card, Smokin' Jim, wouldn't you think, even more better? And I got to tell you, not only that, Drew McIntyre and Karrion Kross in a strap match. Wow. Tell me that's not going to be a good one. I liked it on Friday on SmackDown when he whooped up on Karrion Kross with that strap. And I was like, whoa, I had just got back from having dinner. My mom's birthday was last Friday, so I got back in time to watch SmackDown. And and you can watch the replay on FS1. I think it's on Saturday morning or something. And FS2 has it on too during the weekend as well. If you can't catch it on Friday on Fox. Also, what do you think of this match, Riddle versus Seth Rollins in a pit match? What do you think that's going to – I think Riddle's going to take him in this one because I don't think Rollins – this is not his type of match. He claims he knows what to do, but we're going to find out. What do you think?
Well, I think he's going into Riddle's wheelhouse, man. I'm surprised that he agreed to that. Seth is a guy that claims he'll fight you any place, anywhere. I think he might have bit off more than he can chew. In this particular hookup, this is where Riddle comes from.
Right.
That environment.
Right. Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey. We talked about that last week, but one other match that has just been added is Sheamus versus Gunther once again for the Intercontinental title. The first match turned into a big brawling fight. What do you think?
Same thing, man.
Yeah. I think it is too. I think that this match, it's going to be the same fighting, and then the Brutes are going to be out there, and the Imperium's going to be there. It's going to be a mess. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a big mess. But we talked last week about factions, and I'm hearing stories now, and I don't know if it's true, and I don't know if it's even going to happen. That we're talking about the Imperium possibly going up against the Bloodline. The Usos and Roman Reigns. And so we're going to find out how that happens and what's going on there with that. And there's a whole lot of other rumors going on. We're going to talk a little bit about.
Hey, before you move on, man,
yeah.
we were all wrong about Sami Zayn. We thought he was going to get kicked out.
Yeah.
Bloodline, but Roman had another T-shirt for him, right?
Yeah, he had exactly. Well, he had that match last night with AJ Styles, and he actually beat him. And I didn't think that was going to happen. I actually thought AJ was going to win that match, and then Sami Zayn was going to have an egg on his face again. But obviously that didn't happen last night. And then Sikoa or whatever his name is, he was involved in the match as usual. And you know how he hit, But there's a rift there in that thing there in the Bloodline. Jey Uso doesn't like him, and I think there's going to be some friction there. I think something might be coming up on Friday night on SmackDown because we're 2 weeks away. It's on the 8th. I have other obligations. I won't be able to watch the original. I'll have to watch the replay when I get back, but or probably on Sunday because I'm going to be home late and then I have to go to church. So so the 8th, I'm not going to be able to catch the Extreme Rules. I'm going to have to watch it another time. Of course, that's nice when you have Peacock and on demand. You can do that. So, but anyway, I'm hearing stories that it's going to be an interesting scenario coming up in the Extreme Rules that you could see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn leaving the Bloodline or getting kicked out because Jey Uso doesn't want him in the group. If you take a look at how they work, Jimmy Uso laughs at him. Okay. Jey Uso don't even like him. And I don't know what Paul Heyman really thinks of him at all. But I know Sikoa likes him. The younger brother of the Usos. They seem to hang out together all the time, Sami Zayn and Sikoa. So I think that they like each other, but we're going to find out what happens as we go here. This could be something coming up this Friday that could really be a game changer. But we'll see. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But most of the time I'm right, and I'm hearing stories that could be Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos for the tag team belts. So we're going to find out what happens as it goes.
Well, you're always on the money, man. But I tell you what, more times than not, man, you're on the money more than anybody I know. You know wrestling better than anybody I know. But you remember at one time Jay walked away from the Bloodline?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Well, Jimmy was hurt for a while. He had that knee injury. And he was hurt for a while, so Jay had to wrestle on his own. I remember that. And then that's when it got.
I get them mixed up. Which one left TV for a year?
That was Jimmy Uso. He had that knee injury and he left for about a year. Yeah, he was off.
That's the reason why.
Yeah.
Because it made it look like he didn't like the way that the head of the table was talking to the brothers. So,
yeah, he didn't like it at first, and then I guess Jimmy started to get involved a little bit more. And now it's become a stronger faction and a better faction. And I got to hand it to you. And I'll tell you what, I heard the rumors about Paul Heyman. Looks like I'm wrong. Rumors are rumors. You know what I'm saying? And it looks like Heyman's still on the show, still on TV, still doing his thing. So I don't know. What's going on with that, but we're going to find out. Rumors are circulating. They're taking him off of TV. They want him to do some work in the back. I don't know what they have in mind for him, but Stephanie and Triple H definitely have something for him to do as well. So also there's a documentary out also about Velveteen Dream, the rise and fall of Velveteen Dream. And it's really sad about what he turned out to be. He was a really good wrestler in NXT. He was supposed to come up to the main brand, and then all of a sudden he got involved in all this nonsense, domestic violence, sexual assault, drunken driving, all kinds of stupid nonsense. What's your thoughts on that?
it's a shame, man. That'd be a good documentary to really see. We're really happy, man. It's a shame. You hate to see, careers, in that way. But but I always enjoyed it. The documentaries were very well done.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the Velveteen Dream. He's fallen out of grace with everybody, and it seems like that's what's going on right now. All right, tonight I want to talk a little bit about AEW because we have a lot to. Here we go, the dissect here. Andrade, Buddy Matthews, Malachi Black won out of AEW. Of course, Andrade wants to come back to WWE so he could be with his wife, Charlotte Flair. Buddy Matthews wants out. He had his last match last Wednesday. Malachi Black wants out as well. Malachi Black released a statement saying that he has not yet left AEW. He is just weighing out his options right now, but he's about to, I think, embark on something else. Now, here's what's going on, Smokin' Jim, with this. Tony Khan is trying to get WWE for tampering. He's pissed at them because they're tampering with these guys. The meeting with Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega really set him on fire. He's angry now, and he wants to go after WWE and Triple H and Stephanie for tampering with his wrestlers, because they keep on reaching out to these guys and saying, "Hey, look, come with us, come with us." But remember on the last show, I talked about how there's no way it can happen because Tony Khan was smart enough to sign these guys to the end of 2023, 24, and 25. Now I'm hearing that Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee want out. They want to go back. There's a lot of wrestlers here now in AEW that want to go back to WWE because Vince McMahon's no longer running it, as we all know. Triple H is running it. These guys are unhappy with AEW. They're unhappy with not being on TV a lot. And as usual, Smokin' Jim, and you said it better than I did. I'm right when I said this, that they have too many ego wrestlers there and not enough space for everybody and not enough airtime and TV time. And now it's starting to fall apart on Tony Khan. What do you think?
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. There's so many talented, in this era, there's so many talented wrestlers, and there's just not enough opportunity for them to display their wear. I remember spending the summers as a kid down south.
Right.
And it seemed like wrestling was on every night of the week, man.
Oh, it was heavy duty down there.
South, man, down in South Carolina and Georgia. And I tell you what, it's definitely a sport that you could show, 5 days a week.
Right.
And, to give these wrestlers exposure because people love it all over the country.
Well,
but I tell you what, man, just to go back to in NXT briefly, I'm boycotting NXT for a week.
Why is that?
I just found out Mandy Rose got engaged. She got engaged to another wrestler.
Oh man. Oh. I know you've been on the Mandy Rose bandwagon there for a little while. It's yeah. She's another one like Carmella, man. TV does her TV does her no justice or something or whatever.
Man, Carmella's so beautiful on TV, but 10 times more beautiful in person, man. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't know what she's thinking of now because Corey Graves now got to do double duty since Pat McAfee left. And, he says, I hope he doesn't remember that time at the pay-per-view. He says, when he was fighting Corbin, he says, I don't want Corbin to beat him up that bad. He says, because if he does, I can't spend a weekend with my wife at the PA. And then I liked it on Raw on Monday night when I liked it on Raw on Monday night when he said to Saxton, he says, you haven't had a date since high school or something.
What did he say the one time? He says, when he was talking about, he said, when you finally move out of your mother's house, you'll find out it's good to be when he was talking about Mysterio's son,
Yeah. Yeah, I love it when Saxon goes, Graves, he says, come on now. He says he left his dad and his family, and now he's with the Judgment Day. And then Graves goes, oh, man. He said, yeah, like you said, he said, oh, my. But anyway, getting back to AEW as well, FTR, uh, they're upset now because they're not on TV that often, and they're talking about going back to the WWE or going to New Japan Wrestling. Now, the way some of these guys can sort of get back with the WWE and not even worry about AEW TV is by going to New Japan Wrestling. Some of these guys are going to Impact for a little bit, they're spreading themselves around. I'm hearing that Omega and the Young Bucks may go to Impact if they can't get in with the WWE because their contracts don't run out till next year with AEW. And it looks like I said, they're starting to lose some of these guys. And I said this before, I'll say it many times. When you sign too many egos, look what happened to WCW. And it's looking like AEW is going in that direction. Remember when we had Bob Cook on, the wrestler from back in the day? And he said it. He said they need to take and watch the rise and fall of WCW and take a look at how they ran things because that's exactly what AEW is doing right now. They're doing the same thing tonight. On Dynamite, some pretty decent matches. Here's a few. Jon Moxley versus Juice Robinson. Toni Storm versus Serena Deeb for the women's title. Chris Jericho is putting up the ROH title against Bandito. And Jericho Appreciation Society, they're having a big championship celebration tonight. So that's going to happen. Then there's a few other things going on. Sahara or Ciala or whatever her name is, Paige, is going to make some kind of announcement or talk tonight, and so is MJF, and that's when you turn the TV off when he starts talking. You know what I mean? So, but he's got that Casino Royale coin, which is like the Money in the Bank thing. He can set up a match. It doesn't work like Money in the Bank. You can't just walk up with a referee and say, I want to fight right now. Can't do that. But he can set up a match anytime, anywhere, during one of the pay-per-views, a Dynamite or a Rampage against Jon Moxley, who is the current champion, as you know. And we're going to find out what goes on tonight on Dynamite. And then we have, some of the fallout from Rampage last week and some of the fallout from Dynamite last week as well. NWA notes, Smokin' Jim, I wanted to tell you, National Championship Tournament is going on. Brian Myers, he used to be in the WWE. I forget his name. He was the guy who didn't win any matches. Remember, he had the beard and the mustache, and he didn't win no matches. Well, that's Brian Myers. He's been around. He's in the Impact, NWA, MLW. He's been all over the place. Well, he's involved in this tournament against Dak Draper, and Dak Draper was from ROH. And they're involved in a tournament they have a championship there called the National Championship. And then Bully Ray made his first match appearance on NWA. I told you about a week or two ago. He was fighting or supposed to be coming in. He made an announcement. He showed up at a match. Well, it turns out that he was going up against Matt Cardona. And I don't know if you know who he is. He used to be Zack Ryder, the Long Island IC in the WWE. Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, he's got his brother involved now with him, too, and a guy named Mike Knox, who used to be Nux in the old Aces and Eights. And Mike Knox and Bully Ray, they've been friends for many years. Well, there's some kind of rift between them now. It seems like Bully Ray has been, not too well liked around wrestling anymore. I don't know what happened. I know him and Devon don't even talk, and they had a bad relationship, but they made it work. And Devon's come out and said, I don't want to. I know Bully Ray has reached out to him to come back to the NWA, and they do the Dudley Boy thing, but Devon said no. He apparently there's a rift there. I don't know what happened. I'm going to try to find out what happened between them two. It seems like there's this bad rift, but he had a match between Matt Cardona and Mike Knox. He was supposed to find a partner, couldn't find anybody. Somebody from the back locker room came out and helped them out, and they won the match. But Bully Ray seems like doesn't have too many friends around here. What's your thoughts on that?
much information, man. I tell you what, Ralph, just what I love coming on with you, brother. I tell you what, you're like the best kept secret in the country, man. Somebody got to pull a Christopher Columbus and discover you, man.
I just wish
to be on network TV.
I just wish Memphis Wrestling would get back to me. I've sent them 2 different emails and a whole bunch of shows, and they haven't got back to me yet. So I have no clue what they're doing. But anyway, Trevor Murdoch, that's he comes from the Murdoch family. He's the NWA World Championship. Tyrus, remember him? He used to be part of the Funkadelics, the big heavy set guy back in the day. I forget what name he had here, but Tyrus, he's been around Impact. Now he's with NWA. He's the TV champion there in NWA. So, Trevor Murdoch, I think it's the grandson or some kind of relation to Dick Murdoch and the Murdoch family. They're like the Von Erichs and the Mysterios and all these and the Guerreros and all that stuff. Oh, by the way, speaking of the Guerreros, guess who made a debut appearance with Teddy Long on Memphis Wrestling this past week? Chavo.
Really?
Yeah, Chavo made an appearance. Apparently, he's going to work with Teddy Long. They're going to try to fix up some things. Teddy Long laid the law down like he always does to this one faction. I didn't get a chance to catch the name, but he laid the law down to them and told them, you're not going to pick and choose your own matches. You're going to do what I tell you to do. And he's the acting GM currently with Memphis Wrestling. So we're going to see what Teddy Long does there and whatnot. So, and the independence wrestling scene, we're going to try to get a couple guys on in the next few weeks, Smokin Jim, either here or on our Wrestle Talk. And don't forget tomorrow night, everybody, Wrestle Talk, myself, Smokin Jim Frazier, Mark Mancini, and we might hear from Clayton Truder, who's our contributor to the show as well. Big time wrestling talk, national blog talk radio, 347-205-9631. Smokin Jim and I, we're here 2 nights a week, Wednesday, talking wrestling, Thursday. Don't forget also the Wrestle Talk. And don't forget tomorrow night, Smokin Jim, 6 p.m., right? Our live call-in finally for this month with PCTV. And we have 2. We have this Thursday and next Thursday. We will also be on the 6th. We will be on PCTV as well. 6 p.m. live call-in show, 412-231-2288. Sports Corner, myself, Smokin Jim. Lots to talk about Steelers, the remaining ending season of the Pirates, the Pitt Panther football team. I have some information about Pitt basketball. Jeff Capel had his press conference yesterday. We're going to talk about that as well, and a whole lot more on Sports Corner, and a little bit of wrestling in there too. We'll talk some wrestling as well. Get you pumped up for the 8 o'clock show on Blog Talk Radio. Smokin Jim, any final thoughts before we wrap it up here shortly?
No, I hate to be on a 1 week sabbatical for NXT, but Mandy broke my heart. Hey, this is a great time. This is a great era for wrestling. It's just going to get better and better. Great athletes.
Hey, hang on a second here. I got a text from Dewdrop. She said she wants to meet up with you. So, Hey, did you see last Friday on SmackDown? I forgot to tell you. Did you see that match Lacey Evans had last week? I thought that was a really good match.
Yeah, I liked her military shorts too.
Yeah. Yeah, the way she's wearing them is pretty. Yeah. I'm interested to see what's going to happen this Monday night on Raw. If Lashley's going to fight anybody, he didn't fight this past Monday, so I was hoping to see him, fight with his U.S. title. I don't know who he's going to fight next. I'm not even.
He's another guy that come from the cage,
Oh yeah, he did, and so did Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar was in. He had a few matches, But you know what? I got something I want to talk before we go. We have a couple minutes yet. I'm interested to find out what happened to Cain Velasquez. And the reason I say this is because Cain Velasquez is cousins with Rey Mysterio. I don't understand why he hasn't brought him in to help him with the Judgment Day. I know he got into some legal trouble and was in jail, but I don't even know if he's even out of jail. I know he got involved in some kind of domestic dispute somewhere in Florida, I believe, and he was thrown in jail. And I haven't heard anything about him. But what I'm wondering is, where is he? Why hasn't Ray reached out to him? Because I remember when Brock Lesnar was bullying him and his son, he reached out to Velasquez and had him come in and fight Brock Lesnar. It wasn't much of a fight. Lesnar beat the crap out of him, but I mean, it would. But still, at least he brought him in, to try to help out a little bit. Where is all these guys? I mean, I know Mysterio's, Velasquez. Velasquez, yeah, that's going to be a good question because we got family here now breaking up. So, I'm hearing stories too that Mysterio's daughter, I can't remember her name. She's she's been working out at the Performance Center with trainers down there. She's going to be wrestling real soon too. Now, what side's she going to be on? Yeah, she was dating Buddy Matthews. She was dating Buddy Matthews. Yeah, she was dating him for a little while. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, she was dating him, and that didn't go over too well because he was hooked up with Seth Rollins when he was the Messiah and he had his disciples. Oh, excuse me, and all that other stuff. So but anyway, yeah. All right, Smokin' Jim, it's been a pleasure as usual. We'll talk tomorrow. I'll see you at the studio at PCTV for our 6 o'clock live call-in show, channel 21 Comcast, 47 Verizon Cable, Allegheny County. And you can watch us live on Facebook, on PCTV's Facebook page. And then don't forget tomorrow night, 8 p.m. here on YouTube, Facebook. I'm sorry, not here. Jeez, oh, man. Wow. Blog Talk Radio. 347-205-9631. Wrestle Talk, best national wrestling show. We're on for 45 minutes to an hour every single Thursday night, and we have a lot to talk about tomorrow night as well. As you know, I always come swinging with a home run, and I'll have some more home run news for everyone tomorrow. So, And the Pirates won again today, Smokin' Jim. How do you like that one? They still haven't lost 100 games. So there's still three more games for them to hit 100. They might not. They might not hit 100, and then we'll all have egg on our face again because, so because everybody said they were going to go 62 and 100. So I saw the thing that Chip said last night on the sports line about the team and all that stuff. So I know he's a big baseball fan. Already renewed his season tickets. And we'll talk tomorrow night about that issue I talked to you about on Facebook last night. Yeah, we're going to have a nice little conversation about that. We're going to get people's opinion on that. I think that was wrong. Not only did I think that was wrong, Smokin' Jim, I think it was tacky what they did, those four guys. And you laid the information out real good about this. And but tomorrow we're going to share notes and we're going to talk about that because I think that's wrong. And I remember one time Mark Madden got into an argument with a guy. He was crying and complaining about how the tickets at the time at PNC Park were cheap to go sit and watch a game. Why don't you go to the game? And, somebody called up and said to him, well, you got a lot of nerve. You get in for free. You get free food. You feed your fat butt. They park your car, and stuff like that. And he said, we got to pay for food, tickets, and parking. He says, how dare you sit there and talk about people not coming to the game when you get in for free? And you know how Mark gets. You know what I mean? And, so we're going to talk a little bit about that tomorrow, about that thing we talked about on Facebook yesterday. It's a very interesting thing because, a lot of people don't pay attention to stuff like that. I do because I was listening to the radio. They had the radio broadcast on at Acrisure Stadium, and I was waiting for my wife to come out of the ladies' room, and I was hearing the radio broadcast, and they were talking about that, and I thought that wasn't the forum to do it in. You know what I mean? Because you could piss a lot of people off with that because there's people like myself. I spent $75 on Saturday for food at Acrisure Stadium, and I'm not happy about that as well. But you know what? I just, with the way they put it and the way they said it was just terrible. And so we're going to talk about that tomorrow as well. All right, everybody have a good night. Be safe. Smokin' Jim, be safe. I'll talk to you tomorrow night. We'll be back here next Wednesday for Talking Wrestling. Don't forget tomorrow night for Blog Talk Radio for Wrestle Talk. Have a good night. Be safe.